Hi guys, welcome. Today we'll be using just a mat. So we'll get started in a comfortable seated position. At the top of your mat, cross-legged is great. You can also stretch out your legs in front of you or come to the knees, whichever feels the easiest to hold. So that we can take a few breaths here, tuning into the breath first and foremost. So taking a longer, deeper inhale, maybe holding at the top, filling up all the way, and then a sigh out the mouth. Let's do 2 more just like that, just to gradually build a longer, slower, deeper breath, holding at the top, and sigh it out the mouth. Last one. And then drawing breath in through your nose, out through your nose. Let's start to roll around through the neck a little bit, dropping chin down. Maybe on the exhale, and then inhaling, rocking your ear over to one shoulder. Exhale, maybe taking us down through center, and then rocking to the other side. So you can take a few like that, just at your own pace. Any kind of movement that's feeling good for the neck and shoulders here. And we'll continue to build that relationship with our breath, starting to really connect to it, and at the same time we can start to connect to how it is we're feeling in this moment. What we're showing up with today. And we can start to let those movements grow. So maybe we start to make some circles with the upper body, kind of pressing into the knees and using that as leverage to kind of circle through the torso, the rib cage. I like to exhale, lean back. Inhale, sweep it forward. And I encourage everybody to really find a way to move that feels very delicious, very, it's almost like a sensual movement, right? Following your intuition and just letting your body move any way that's feeling good and not worrying so much about what it looks like. Switching directions if you are taking those circles at this point. So just moving the other way, and the head and neck can be really loose and free, and you can feel free to kind of snake through the shoulders, just warming up through the whole body here. We can even start to engage the belly, drawing our navel in and up towards our spine, aiming to keep that engaged for the whole practice. Beautiful. Finding center. Let's inhale, sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, side bend to the left. Left hand comes outside left hip. We lean over, gazing up at those lifted fingertips. Pausing here, maybe turning through the chin once again to stretch the neck. Inhaling, rising back up. Both arms lift, lifting the gaze. Drinking up that breath, and then exhale, side bend to the right. If you're pretty bendy in the side, you might even bring your entire forearm down as we again gaze up at those left fingertips, seeing if we can keep both sit bones rooted before we. So if that left butt cheek is peeking up, might be a sign to lift up a little bit. Back off again. Lovely. Let's inhale up through center one more time. Both arms lift, stretching through the sides. And let's see if, while we're practicing today, we can take the position of a witness. And by that I mean just objectively observing ourselves throughout this experience. So not making ourselves or our thoughts good or bad or labeling them, just watching them unfold. So finishing an inhale right here. And then exhale, we'll rock forward onto hands and knees. So I'm going to scooch back a little bit. Bringing our palms under our shoulders, knees under hips. We'll start to take some cat-cows here. So inhale to drop the belly, look up. Relaxing through the shoulders, away from the ears. Exhale to tuck and round through the back. Chin to chest. And we can take a few like that. Just moving at our own pace. Good opportunity to stretch through the wrists here too. So you might spin the fingertips out to either side. Start to shift the weight a little bit, side to side. Being gentle here, maybe turning both fingertips back to face your knees. Ooh, yeah, and you can kind of sink the weight back, hips towards heels, gently, being so careful with that delicate joint. And then, yeah, fingertips can spin back forward. You might take the back of one hand down, and again, kind of shift the weight back. Switching sides here. Beautiful. And then finding center, finding that tabletop, hands and knees. Let's inhale, stretch the left leg back behind you, flexing through the foot so toes are pointing down. And toes are off the floor, so we're engaging the belly here for sure. See if you can, again, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Don't have to do a sit-up to get some core work, that's for sure. So from here, taking that lifted leg and crossing left toes to the right. So you're crossing over your back leg, and we can start to turn our head and look over our right shoulder. Remembering those big, buoyant breaths. And remembering to just be an observer here, not judging our bodies, what we can and can't do, not judging any thoughts that we're having. Just kind of watching them, like we're watching clouds passing through a blue sky. From here, let's inhale. Once again, lift the left leg. This time we're going to bring it all the way out to the left side. So I'm going to scooch over a little bit to make a little more room so toes are facing forward. The foot is flat as if we were standing, and we're pressing through the outer edge. And from here, we can again press into the palms, lift through the chest. Let's go ahead and bring our right palm in the center of our chest as we inhale, left arm to the sky. A little twist here, or really quite a big twist. So pausing, breathing. Maybe circling through that lifted wrist. And I'll share while we're hanging out here that some of you might know the lotus flower is a very popular symbol in the yoga world, yoga philosophy. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And for those of you who don't know, the lotus is a water flower. So it grows in the water, and it's got like a waxy protective coating on it that makes it waterproof. So pretty cool, and they're very beautiful. So let's enjoy one more big breath in here. And then exhale, release left hand down. We're going to take what's called a half child's pose. So a big giant stretch for that inner thigh. Remember to listen to your body and listen to the breath. Only go to the extent that you can still breathe nice and deep. But we'll start to maybe sink the hips back towards the heel while keeping that left leg out straight. And you go as far as you want, but maybe you come down onto the forearms. And maybe you can sit all the way back on that heel. Ooh, I know some people that can stretch their arms out and lay down. That's not for me today. So you might be laying all the way down, chest and belly on the floor too. But yes, big giant stretch for the inner thigh. So let's send some big breaths there. See if you can soften the forehead, soften the jaw. Maybe if you're like cursing me out in your brain, soften some of those thoughts too. All right, amazing. If you've lowered down, you can start to press into your palms, rising back up. Oof. And then inhale to swing that leg back. At the same time, we'll lift left arm to the sky. So back foot is hovering. And if balance is really tricky, this definitely takes core strength. You can bring your left foot to the earth, no big deal. But left arm is lifted. Maybe we take some big giant circles this time with that lifted arm. And we might wrap that left arm around our low back. So the saying with the lotus flower is that it is born in the water, lives in the water, and dies in the water, but it never gets wet. So this is sort of a metaphor for that more objective way of looking at things, right? It's like we can be active in the world, deeply engaged in our life, but there's a way of doing it so that we're not bothered by it. We're not rocked and shocked by all the changes that happen every day. On our next exhale, we can release it down. Once again, find tabletop, hands and knees. Maybe a little shimmy side to side, maybe a little cat-cow. And we'll just take the other side. So we'll inhale, engaging the belly. Again, softening through the shoulders as we stretch that right leg behind us. So toes are hovering. Inhale, lifting through the chest, and exhale to cross right foot over left, gazing over our left shoulder this time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, swinging that right foot all the way out to the right. So toes face forward, pressing through the outer edge of that heel, lifting through the chest for a breath. And then bringing left palm in the center of the chest as we inhale, right arm to the sky. Another opportunity to kind of move around through that wrist. What a cool sounding idea, right? Like, can you imagine going through, let alone your entire life, but like one day where nothing bothered you, not even for a second? How cool would that be? From here, we'll exhale, release that palm. And then start to gently, gradually sink back into that half child's pose. So maybe lowering down onto the forearms, maybe lowering your seat, and maybe you're way up here, and that's totally fine too, still getting the stretch. So again, really good opportunity to practice objectivity, right? If you are really intensely feeling this, if you're feeling that tightness or gripping or having thoughts like, oh man, this sucks, I don't want to do this, this hurts, see if you can take a step back and just notice those thoughts, right? Again, like changing weather. Just, oh, that's an interesting thought. I'm really feeling a lot right now. I'm very relaxed. Softening around those thoughts, allowing them to be there and allowing them to move right through you, knowing that this too shall pass. We will not be here forever. In fact, we're going to rise up right now, bringing weight into your palms. Once again, swinging that left knee back in a bit, moved out to the side, and we'll swing our right leg back and up at the same time as we lift through the right arm. So again, toes can be down and back, grounded. Still working the belly, still challenging the balance. One more big breath in to open. And then exhale, release it down. Releasing the knee. Maybe sitting back on the heels, taking a moment to breathe. Just checking in, seeing how we're doing. What the weather like is in our minds, if it's storming or if it's sunny. And just allowing that to be just, again, noticing it. So I've got one more longer kind of flow for us. So now that you know that up front, see what we can do. And this is maybe our challenge, right, to ourselves. To just move through it. Just allow it to unfold however it does and get through it the best that we can. And just let that all be good. No need to have drama around it in our brain, just kind of relaxing our way through it. So with that thought in mind, let's rock back forward onto hands and knees. Just so we can step our left foot between our hands. So we might scooch that right knee back a bit. And we'll start to take some cat cows in this lunge. And you can certainly keep the back knee down. I like to tuck my toes in and keep that knee lifted just because I feel like I get more out of the stretch, but totally up to you. I'm on my fingertips here. Let's start to cat cow in this lunge. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, sink through the hips a little bit, lifting up. Exhale to rise up, to round through the back, chin to chest. Three more just like that. Inhale to drop down, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale to duck it down. One more. Beautiful. Exhale, lifting. Then we can gently lower that back knee. Lovely. Inhale, rising up, both arms in the air, tilting the chin up. Crescent pose, pausing here, a few rounds of breath. One more inhale, maybe tipping back a little bit more. And then as we exhale, we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. So like you're holding someone else's hand at your lower back. Then from here, straightening the arms, reaching your knuckles behind you as you roll one shoulder down away from the ear and then the other. And again, being really observant of your own body, what you're feeling, and listening to those limitations. So paying attention to the breath, only tipping back to the extent you can, and maintain that deep rhythmic breath. Opening through the throat, opening through the heart. Finish and exhale right here. And then let's inhale, release that clasp. Arms up to the sky one more time. And as we exhale, shifting the weight back as we start to straighten through that left leg. So fingertips can come on either side. Yeah, so working towards a straight left leg. Stretching through the whole hamstring. Developing objectivity takes so much practice. It is not something that most of us learn when we're young. It's not something that happens automatically. So it takes time and definitely some effort, especially in the beginning if this is new. So be super patient with yourself. It's about the practice, right? And it gets better and easier with time. Let's take one more inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the back toes and start to bend back into the left knee. Kind of a big move here. We'll start by lifting the back knee, just so we can start to shift the weight forward enough to step that back foot all the way up to meet the front one. So suddenly we are folding forward at the top of our mat, and we're just going to hang out this forward fold. Staying with that breath. Fingertips might be dangling in the air, or maybe they find your ankles or even the floor. Maybe you're swaying a little bit side to side, loosening up through the low back. And then let's grab opposite elbows here. And let your head hang and dangle between your biceps, your upper arms. And then from here, we'll slowly start to roll up. So soft bend in the knees, pressing into the feet, bone by bone of the spine. We just slowly make our way all the way up, keeping that clasp of the elbows and taking it all the way up overhead. I'm going to back up just so you can see a little bit better. So clasp overhead like so. We'll inhale, tip it back. moving your forearms back behind you. And then exhale, take that whole shape over to the left, side bend. Inhaling up. Exhale, side bend right. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up through center, tipping back. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale through center once more. Exhale, side bend right. Great. I'm just going to make my way back to the top because we will inhale, release those elbows, gaze up one more time. As we exhale, hands can come through heart center in a prayer as we step that left foot back. Wah! Takes a little balance to get there. And then we can slowly, gently lower that knee. Inhaling, arms up to the sky. So we're in a grounded crescent now on the other side. A couple moments to pause here to allow that left hip flexor and quad to relax. Do I have any TV fans out there? Anyone else love a good Netflix binge like I do? Why is it that we can watch things that are very dramatic, very emotional, where terrible things maybe are happening, and enjoy it? And yet, when trauma happens in our own life, we're miserable. So from here, we're going to reverse and revolve this crescent. So we'll start just by wrapping the right arm around your low back and turning your chest and your rib cage to the right. Left arm moves up and overhead as we start to tip back a little bit, just to your own degree. And there's some places we can take this. So you are free to stay right here. We're certainly getting some work. And if you notice your balance is really wobbly, you can start to walk that right foot out to the right a little bit more for kind of a wider base. But if you want to experiment with some other versions, you might start to bend at the elbow and take your hand to like the base of your skull as you tip up and back. You can even lean back into your palm for a little support. Making sure we're breathing here, filling up all the way on the inhale. Exhaling fully. And the answer to that question is we're able to enjoy it because we're more objective when we're watching a character on TV, right? It's not happening to us. What if we were to approach our own life and our own self as if we were watching things happen to a character on TV? Let's release this deep back bend. Inhale, coming up through center. Exhale, releasing your left palm inside that right foot, right arm to the sky. Should feel pretty good here to enjoy that twist. You can always lift the back knee if you're wanting to turn this up a little bit more. And then we're all going to lift that back knee, spin the back heel down, and see if you can let that left palm spin you up and over to the side. So hips are now facing the left side of the room. Toes facing the left side of the room as well. I realize my head's cut off, but that's okay. Just gonna have to use my words. So we're coming to star pose, which is just a wide leg stance. Again, toes are facing to the side, and arms come out wide like a beautiful starfish. Wonderful. We can start to interlace hands once again behind our low back. Rolling shoulders down away from the ears, knuckles towards the earth, towards the back of the room. Drawing that belly in to protect our low back. Inhale to lift through the chest. And then exhale, let's fold forward, taking our knuckles up overhead. I have devoted a lot of time, many, many years, to developing this more objective mindset. It has taken so much time and energy to get there. And I'm definitely not 100% objective. I have a long way to go, but it's gotten so much better. And the truth is, I put in all that time and effort because it's worth it, because I found that the other way sucks. It's no fun to look that way at all. So let's release the bind, release our fingertips down. Oh, my nose is itching. And then start to walk our fingertips to the front of the mat once again, spinning on the toes. Releasing back knee down. Coming back into tabletop, and let's take a moment. Let's once again either find crossed legs, we're sitting on the heels. Maybe even close your eyes and just reconnect to the breath. You made it through a sigh. Way to go. How was that for you? To what degree were you able to just watch it unfold without getting caught up in it, without getting bothered or worried? Really good information to collect about ourselves. Now we know where we're at, right? Where our starting point is, how objective we can be. That's a perfect place to grow from. It's the only place we can grow from is exactly where we are. So wherever you are is just perfect. And guess what? We have another side. We get to do that all again on the other side. So second chance. Already we get an opportunity to practice again. So find the breath, right? Find a higher thought that is going to help motivate you throughout this other side. Why maybe you decided to show up today and push play. Why you haven't shut me off yet. Why are you here? Give it to yourself for another couple of breaths. And then we'll start to, with all of that good intention, walk it forward to hands and knees. So you might remember, at least we know what's coming on this side. Stepping the right foot now up between the hands, maybe scooching that left knee back a bit. I like to tuck my toes and lift that knee. You can certainly keep it lowered as we take a couple of cat cows here. Awesome. Moving with your own breath, arching and rounding through the side. And then we can gently lower that back knee, engaging our belly to inhale, lift up, arms to the sky, crescent pose. One more inhale here, maybe tipping back a little bit more, and then as we exhale, we're going to interlace behind our back. Maybe on this side, you see what it's like to take the opposite interlace. So usually the way that feels a little awkward, but not the way we just automatically do. Just to mix it up a little bit. And then straightening through the arms, knuckles to the back of the room. Lifting chin, lifting chest. One more big breath in. Exhale, releasing that bind. We'll use an inhale to sweep the arms up. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, bowing forward, reaching our heart to our toes. What's the opposite of objectivity? Right? It's subjectivity, which to me sounds a lot like taking things personally, right? Making everything about us. Or the roller coaster of emotions that we go on. We get so caught up in our emotions that we can't even function. It ruins us. Or that kind of more victim mindset of feeling like life is happening to us, right? Everything's happening to us. When really, life is just being life, and the world is being crazy like it always is, and it's not about us. Let's finish an exhale, maybe softening a little bit more. Then we can inhale, tuck the toes behind you. We're stepping into that forward fold. So you can get here however you want to, even if it means just standing up and walking to the top of your mat. But if you want to try lifting that back knee and taking that big kind of hop, and then relaxing here. Again, maybe finding that sway, letting fingertips dangle, or maybe you're even grabbing your big toes with your peace sign fingers. I'm going to walk backwards just so you can see a little bit more of me for this next side bend series, but we'll start by grabbing the elbows, just like we did, soft knees, and then slowly stacking, rolling bone by bone, all the way up. Taking that shape with you, up overhead. This time, let's make some circles, keeping the elbows up over our head. We'll start to bend to the side, take it all the way down and around. Circling up to the other side. Let's do 2 more to the left. Beautiful. And then we'll take 3 more circles to the right. Wonderful. Rise all the way up. Bringing hands to heart center as we step the right foot back this time. Gently lowering on the right knee. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Moving into that reverse revolve, wrapping the left arm around our low back, spanning our upper body to the left side as that right arm comes up and over here, tipping back. Maybe again bending at that elbow and cradling our head with our right hands. Stretching through the back of that right arm. And then moving into the twist. Inhale, reaching both arms up to the sky. Exhale, right palm inside left foot as we maybe lift the back knee, maybe you keep it right where it is and just take the left arm to the sky. Watching those thoughts. Letting them move right through you. Not getting too caught up in any of it because we know it's going to change. This too shall pass. In fact, it's going to pass right now. We can start to lift the back knee, spin onto the back foot, and then maybe that right palm again spins us up and open to the side. Yay, star on this side. So toes facing the right now, both hip bones facing the right. We'll open the arms out wide to the side like a starfish. And then let's just fan it down. Let's take a wide leg forward fold. So you might even walk your feet a little wider. Maybe you grab for opposite ankles, or maybe even walk the hands behind and underneath you. Find a place where you can just hang out and breathe. Softening the back of the legs, just kind of letting gravity lengthen your spine, your crown of the head to the earth. You did it, guys. You did amazing. You made it through the side. Pretty much. Let's take one more breath. And use an inhale to start to spin the left toes forward as we pivot around, lowering the back knee. And then let's do this. Let's take child's pose. Knees come wide as we sit back on the heels, arms extended in front of us. Maybe the forehead comes down. Just pausing. Feeling so proud and amazing for getting through it, made it till the end. So congratulations. And from here, let's start to press into our palms, rising up, just so we can swing ourselves through to seated and come all the way to lying on your back. So you might hug your knees into your chest when you get there, making yourself a little ball, maybe even rocking a little side to side. Nice massage for the spine. And then let's open the arms wide to the side like this. And then exhale, let your knees fall over to the left as you turn your gaze to the right. Inhale to draw the knees back up through center. Exhale, switching directions, knees to the right, gaze into the left. And start to inhale, knees once more back up to center. Maybe wrapping your arms around them one more time, big squeeze. Taking one final breath in together here, controlled breath all the way in, filling up to the max, holding at the top. And then sigh out into your final rest. So arms and legs extend. You can certainly keep the knees bent, maybe knocking them together if that's more comfortable. And just allowing yourself a few moments to pause, to be still, and absorb all of the fruits of your labor. Starting to bring your attention back to this room. Maybe some gentle movements, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe extending out long, arms up overhead, enjoying like a first thing in the morning stretch. And you might rock over onto one side, or simply use your hands to bring yourself back up to the seat, right where we started, right? Bringing hands to heart center, maybe closing the eyes and just taking a moment to notice if you feel any different than when you started. And knowing that any positive shift that you feel is entirely your doing, you get all the credit. So thank you so much for taking this time. It was so nice to be with you all. Namaste. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend.